All right, hello everybody. Welcome to our next lesson on the Cold War here. We're going to call this Racing for the Skies, and you'll see why in a couple minutes or so. Our objectives and standards: to explain the race for space during the Cold War and analyze the confrontation over the skies. And take a moment there to read over the standards, if you would, please. Desired result: what struggle arose over the sky? So think about some of the different events we're going to talk about here and how they led to some struggle over the skies between the Soviet Union and the United States. So new leadership. After the death of Stalin in 1953, the Soviets had no clear leader. So for many years, a group of leaders controlled the country, and finally, this gentleman right here, Nikita Khrushchev, is going to finally come to power. He also believed that communism would take over the world, but he kind of favored a more peaceful approach to the spread of communism instead of this kind of giant takeover with military and stuff like that. But his name will definitely come up later on in our studies, so just remember his name as well. The Soviets in space. The Soviets kind of really jumped out to an early lead in what will become known as the space race. On October 4th, 1957, the Soviet Union launched what would become known as Sputnik. And this was the first satellite created that was artificial. Okay, so first artificial satellite to go into outer space, and it will circle the globe, or it circled the globe every 96 minutes, at 18,000 miles per hour. Here's a picture or an artist rendering of what Sputnik looked like going through outer space there, so you can kind of see what it looked like. And that's obviously Earth there in the background. So the launch of the satellite was a huge triumph for the Soviets, but it was also very scary for Americans who were shocked and scared at the new invention. Some thought it could be a threat to the United States. Maybe it could drop bombs, it could take pictures of military installations, it could, spy on Americans at home. So many people were really nervous about Sputnik, especially in the United States. Others were really angry that the money that was being sent to build a space program had not provided results. Some rockets had crashed. They really hadn't launched a satellite yet. But finally, in January of 1958, the United States will launch its first successful satellite. Now, there's going to be some other trouble in terms, and we'll talk more about outer space later on as well, but that kind of introduces you to it. But in terms of other kind of struggles for the sky, due to the rejection of President Eisenhower's proposal of open skies in 1955 between the Soviet Union and the United States to kind of fly over each other's territories to take pictures, the Soviets rejected that. So the CIA began secret high-altitude flights above Soviet areas, and the plan used U-2 planes that could not be detected easily. Now, the planes would use a camera to capture images of Soviet movement and troops and missile sites. Now, the program is soon going to run into some trouble, though. So government officials were nervous that this program could obviously result in some trouble between the United States and the Soviet Union. And Eisenhower, who we remember, he was a general during World War II. He becomes president later on. We'll talk about that later on. Excuse me. Also wants the program discontinued as well. But Secretary of State Dulles, he says, don't worry, we're just going to do it one more time. We'll do it, and then we'll be done. Unfortunately, the last couple of times they did it, on May 1st, 1960, Francis Gary Powers will be shot down in Soviet airspace and captured. That's his picture there. And he will be sentenced to the Soviet prisons for 10 years. Now, in exchange for this, Eisenhower denied the claim that Powers had been spying, but then when the Soviets actually produced evidence that Powers was spying, they had, the pictures from the plane, Eisenhower admits to it. Khrushchev demanded an apology, and also he demanded that the flights over the Soviet Union by these U-2 planes should stop. Eisenhower agreed to stop the flights, but he says, listen, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize for spying on you. That's just not going to happen. But he did agree to stop the U-2 plane flights. Because of Eisenhower stating that he would not apologize, Khrushchev actually withdrew his invitation to Eisenhower to the Soviet Union and called off an upcoming summit where both sides were supposed to meet to kind of discuss, some talks and kind of, try to decrease the tension between the Soviet Union and the United States. But this obviously increased some tension there. Later on, Powers, the American pilot, will be later exchanged for a Soviet agent, Rudolf Abel, who had been convicted of spying in the United States for the Soviets. So that's kind of how they technically resolve this issue. All right. So I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening. Try your best on the questions. Let me know if you have any concerns, and I'll talk to you soon.